You are now entering the Thick Goddess Energy Morning Show. We in the building. High priestess in the building, didn't let my fears kill me. Transmuted my pain in that cleanse in the rain. Found out I was working and I conquered my demons. I accepted my purpose and the goddess I became. And we're live. Psych. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. This is Thick Goddess Energy Morning Show. I'm your host, Divine Moon Goddess, and this is my co-host, Oracle Empress in the building.
Good morning.
Oh, wait. Messing with lights and stuff. This morning show is brought to you by Divine Moon Goddess Healers and Readings.com.
.com.
Where all your questions are answered. So do know that you can go to the website for, of course, bookings, readings, astrology, classes, crystal shop, just you name it. There's a slew of things that we offer over there. Definitely go check it out and see what we have to offer. Myself and Oracle Empress are both on the website.
Yeah.
I will also say if you're looking to sponsor or you want to just be charitable and donate to our lovely morning show, information is in the description of where to reach us. We are in transition with a lot of the business names, so please do be mindful. In the next 6 months, you will start to see changes as my YouTube channel is now Thick Goddess Energy and Inspiration. I know some people had to do a double take and they thought it was another scammer because the scammers don't play. They will steal my shit 2 seconds and do a whole new Facebook. So just remember that, be mindful. If you guys are ever curious and want to know if it's really me, just send a message and I will clear up the confusion real quick. You guys know how I kind of talk. You guys could see how I kind of vibe. I'm not saying beloved and dear and hun and in all these other endearment. The only thing I call you is the one word I say, which we won't make it that easy for the scammers. They need to pay attention. They need to pay attention. So today is Friday, December 3rd. We are in December. Now there's only 21 more days till Christmas? Holy shit. I don't know if you guys are ready. I'm ready because I'm not buying nobody shit.
No.
I'm gonna buy a couple strangers gifts, but that's it.
No.
Yeah.
Nothing. No.
No, I don't. I'm not. I feel like I've done so many years of going crazy with gifts for my family, and there's just way too many of them now that if I send one a gift, it's like I gotta send everyone. And I'm not a big baller like that to send 20 gifts out at a time.
Yeah. I guess I'm not buying nobody nothing but my kids and the grandbaby. That's
Right.
it.
They're all getting
But
cards. The joy of
getting
opening
cards.
the joy of opening the mailbox,
Right.
and ta-da, there's a card from me that I took time to write my name on and wish you a fucking Merry Christmas.
Right. And take it to the mailbox.
Real shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my kids have pretty much gotten everything that they, I don't want to say want, because they always want something else, but then it only gets played with for a week and then it's over. But all the stuff they actually do and pay attention to, the electronics and stuff, they already have that.
Right.
What am I gonna do?
Yeah. I don't, especially the grandsons. I'm I don't want to buy them anything. We're cramped in here. They're not here forever. So it's they have no space for anything. So it doesn't make any sense to fucking buy shit. If anything, they'll get a gift card for Roblox or some shit. Ta-da! There you go.
Well, that's all that my kids even want is gift cards. all they want is gift cards. And I'm like, that's not fun.
It's
So
not.
maybe
They
it's
get,
more for me than it is for them, I guess.
it is. Because once they get to a certain age, it's not fun anymore. It's not cute. It's not fun, and that's all they want is fucking gift cards and game shit. And it's just like, and most of the gaming stuff is online, so it's not even like buying a
I'm
game
like,
and
yeah,
and packaging it, right? It's online, so it's like, yeah, whatever. It's no fun.
whatever. Maybe I
So
should like buy them like like a lawnmower so they can like mow people's lawns in the summer.
you're like, here you
Get
go.
them stuff like that.
They're
Here's your
like,
brand new 2100 LEG model.
like what? What am I supposed to do with this? You're like, get out there, mom. Hello, Santa brought you a gift. Make sure you guys that are listening, drop some comments. Let us know how you're feeling. Even if you're on YouTube, the algorithm will help, right? Drop those
Mm-hmm.
likes, those thumbs up in the comments, and also will help get us around. And definitely share out, you guys. And we do appreciate all the love and support that you guys have been giving us. I was looking at some of the views, on our morning show. And of course, Facebook is kicking ass. Like Facebook is where we get the views, but on some of the videos, it's 100 and some views for the morning show. And I was like, that's pretty awesome.
Oh
Like that's pretty
wow.
awesome. Thank you guys so much for the love and the
Yay.
views and the shares and feeling the love. Now, YouTube has like 30, 40 views on YouTube, but most people are over here on Facebook. So it's kind of like it doesn't matter where you view it, just view it.
Yeah. Or you could do it.
And we
That's
appreciate it.
cool.
We appreciate the love, and so I'm glad that we're what we're doing is working, and you guys are listening and you guys are tuning in. But just drop those comments and let us know, even if you watch the playbacks. Like this is pre-recorded, it's not live, but even if you don't get to catch us live, go ahead and drop those comments and let us know, like, hey, we're watching. So today we are talking about five. I'm not going to say the top, but we're going to talk about five things that usually are reasons why a person will digress on their spiritual path. And so these are things, of course, to help you guys if we start to name something, you're like hitting home and you're like, oh shit, that's me. That's me right there. However it hits you, it's just, we're going to give you some tips, of
Yeah.
course, of how to handle some of this. And then, of course, we're just going to talk about it, right? So the first thing I have on the list, of course, is trauma and healing. Um, what do you have to say about that? Because trauma and healing, of course, we know is huge on this path. Big fucking trigger for
It
everyone,
is
but
it is huge. It is huge. And my thing has been I hate healing, right? Or I shouldn't say I hate healing. It's just not my thing, right? Not saying the work isn't worth it or anything like that. It's just I'm not very emotional. So it's like, we've gotten into those things before where we've talked about other people making it more of a big deal to heal from certain things that we don't affect us. But trauma is huge. Trauma is huge,
Mhm.
and I think people open up that door and they think it's all about talking about it, or just those wonderful words of letting it go and forgiveness. um but I think once you kind of open Pandora's box, um I don't think people realize that it's a kind of like a lifetime thing. It's like an
Right.
ongoing thing. I don't think it ever like, I mean, I think it gets better. I think you come up with ways to cope and handle it. But like when it comes to healing, I don't think it ever just completely disappears, right? Because you could be like 5 years down the line and see something and it re-triggers something about. that
Right.
situation within yourself. So I think for that, I don't think people are really know what it is to open Pandora's box and want to dig that up.
Right. Right. Well,
Or they
it's
think they can get on this path and not do any healing. And it's like, whatever. That's not why I came here. I didn't come here to do that part. So
I think it goes hand in hand, no matter if you want it or not, right? I think it goes hand in hand because somewhere, somehow, you will be triggered. There's no way around it, right? You can't just be on this path of enlightenment or ascension and not deal with the very things that tear you
mhm.
down, that break you down, that hurt you um, in some way, shape, or form. And I think that's why it's one of the main, I think one of the top reasons why I feel like people digress is because once you're triggered, it's what do I do with it? What do I do with this and where do I go from here? Most people can't take it depending on what it is, and so they run from it. It's like, I'm not even trying to deal with this shit. I don't want to deal with this shit. I was better off doing what I was doing before I got here, which to some extent it's understandable, because it's your path. And it's kind of sad because we've seen a lot of people who that healing hits and they just can't see it, can't deal with it, can't
Mm-mm.
acknowledge it, and they just stay the victim of their reality. And it's kind of hard because when you're on the other end of it, you then have to make decisions to cut people off and move away from people, even though you're seeing they're hurting, and then they don't understand it. They just, they're just going through the emotions. So I think no matter if you want to deal with it or not, you're going to have to deal with it if you want to be on the spiritual path. It just, for me, it goes hand in hand, right?
Yeah, yeah. I don't think people understand it as much as I think they say they want it more than they're willing, or at that time that they understand it. And then you jump into it and it starts to bring out these icky things, or they're just not ready to let it go. So then you get that defensive side of, well, that's not hindering me and that's not bothering me. And
Right.
especially when it comes to things with relationships, it's like,
Right.
well, if this person did this, I wouldn't even be like this. I'm not going to be disrespected, or and so uh, in so many ways, people are still attached to the traumas um, that they need to heal from, and they don't and are not ready to break free from some of those. Um,
Right.
and so then they're just like, well, shit. Okay, if
I
I
think
have to do that, then I have to.
Right. I think some people don't realize, like, we take the word trauma, right? And I think people don't realize
Mm-hmm.
that not everything is the catastrophic trauma, right? Not everything
Right.
that's affecting you is a molestation or a rape or,
Mm-hmm.
like something like that. Sometimes trauma is a car accident as a kid. And I think when people are healing, they're like, I don't need healing because they're not conscious or even educated or have the knowledge to understand that that car accident that you had as a child has done something to you, or the divorce that your parents had. Not that they're dead, they're alive, but the divorce hit home and is playing out in
Mm-hmm.
your life, or grandma dying when you were a kid, like maybe that was huge for you, but you don't realize that that's something that is still affecting you. Or maybe dad wasn't in the picture, you didn't have that dad figure, but even though you had this beautiful mom helping you or whatever, still the fact of not having dad. And so I think people don't realize that part of it either, is that no, nothing's wrong with me, I didn't have any trauma. And it's like, but did you really look at your life and see, has there been events? Even someone going to jail when you're a kid is a traumatic event. you know, to a child.
Mm-hmm.
So I think some people just don't really know. They think trauma is like someone getting killed or, someone getting murdered or raped or something like that. And that's where their mind's like, no, I haven't had any trauma. And so I think unfortunately we're a bunch of uneducated people in that realm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Because when you hear trauma, it's like you think it's some big
Hmm.
hidden family secret, like
Right.
that you've been, molested, raped, abused, whatever. And it's like, I've never had that. And again, yeah, I don't think people realize that. And I think once you start to open up those things and you start to go through those layers, it's hard for people to understand. And it's hard for people to be held accountable for some of their own shit. It's
Hmm.
easier to place the blame when the trauma has come from somebody else versus when you have been the cause of your own self destruction, also.
Right. Right, because that's a part of it is the healing is there's a part of a self-awareness that comes from that. Right,
Mhm.
you gotta look in the mirror and actually take stock of the shit that you've caused, or even when something happened to you, that some of it comes from your own actions. You know what I mean? Not that
Yep.
anyone deserves shit, but sometimes we do create the energy and then we get back the energy that we created, and sometimes it's tragic as hell. Yeah. So, what would you tell anyone coming in on here? Like, like that trauma and healing, like beware. What would be the advice that you could give someone like on that?
Um, I personally would, I would. My personal opinion is, I mean, that's worked for me. So this is why it's my personal opinion. I don't go searching for shit. I don't go searching for what I need to heal from. I don't go searching for things that I'm not noticing. Work through things slowly that way. I don't try to. I don't try to have the me victim mentality where it's like the me too or my trauma has to be worse than the next person, or I don't think
Mhm.
it's a game that we play to see who's the most fucked up,
Right.
or who's had the worst childhood, or,
You're cutting out.
hear other. Am I back?
No, you're
No.
you're kind of frozen. Your screen's frozen. I can't pause.
Never can I get a clear day.
Pause the recording. We'll be back
Am I
after
back
this break.
now?
What you're back
Tell me when
better.
I'm back.
You're back. Now I can
I'm
see
back
you. Your
better.
mouth is matching your
Um,
face. Your face and mouth are matching your words.
okay, I'm not like one of those Asian karate movies. Okay. Yeah. So like I was saying, I don't go searching for shit. I let I kind of let my dominoes fall as they may, and I work from things through there. I would not suggest deciding that one day you're just gonna work through every fucking thing that's ever. And I suggest that you don't start working on shit until you are willing, open, and capable to understand a part that you may have played. I'm not saying that people play parts in everything that has happened to them, but some things. You have to be willing to own your own shit if you're wanting other people to own their own shit.
Sorry if y'all hear a dog in the background. Aries needs attention right now. But um, that kind of coincides with what I was feeling like when you were talking, because I was thinking about, you have to be really careful of who tells you what you need when you're coming into this path. There's a lot of very beautifully gifted people, right? And there's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people who will start to tell you what they feel you need on this path. And
Yep.
I think you should always take it with a grain of salt and see if it
Mm-hmm.
rings true to what you've already been feeling. So if you've already
Mm-hmm.
been feeling there's something there, right? But if it hits you left field and you're just kind of like, yeah, that's not really something I feel like is my thing, then don't make it your thing. That's what I would tell you guys. I would tell you guys to just be very careful with what people are saying and telling you, because when you come into the spiritual path, there's a lot of gifted people and everybody wants to tell you something, so just be very careful with that. Okay.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
our next thing, our top two, is resistance to change. Now we know this one is a huge one, right?
Yeah.
Because on resisting to change is because you have to change walking into this path. There is no walking into this path and
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to keep doing the same shit I've been doing. No, something has to give, like something
Yes.
has to change. And that it's a very scary place to start. And we have a show, we just talked about that, the letting go. And we just talked about that, how hard it is to like let go, because with change you got to let some shit go. And a lot of people don't want to give up their bad habits. A lot of people don't want to give up their gossip and their fucking drama, and they don't want to give up the boyfriend that's beating their ass, even though they're crying about it every week, or the one that's cheating on them and they know it, but they still keep going. They don't want to
Mm-hmm.
give that up. They don't want to give up the illusion, right? And we'll talk a little bit more about that on our fifth one. But that, yeah, that resistance to change, it's like, what, walking into any path, what are you willing to give up for that ascension, for that upliftment, or to get to that higher vibration? What are you truly willing to give up and change to get there?
Right. Because I think you can stay in that energy. Should you choose to not want to give things up and still be to want to elevate, to want to grow, to want to open up gifts and abilities and raise yourself like that on a higher level. You're going to have these physical things that hinder you. And I know people really geared towards spirituality because they don't feel like it's a religion. But with anything that you do, with any belief system that you bring on, right, there is some truth to some of the things and the teachings and the things that you're supposed to do to follow your path. Even I think, remember we were talking about, I was saying I wanted to convert to Islam. And to me, the biggest thing that stuck out was the teachings about what you eat, what you drink, certain things like that. Now it was like, oh, that makes so much sense, that makes so much sense,
Right,
and
right,
how to
right,
live and
right.
be peaceful. Don't want to shed from the physical thing. I think the big thing about spirituality, though, and spirit itself, is if you don't want to shed it, they have a way of coming in and fucking your life up and making that go away. And I don't say fucking your life up as a bad thing, but they have a way of
Right.
sending this tornado right through your home and dismantling everything in order for you to rebuild and get rid of um, whatever that physical thing is that they've been trying to get you to realize is no longer serving you.
Right, right. Well, because yeah, spirituality is not a religion per se, but as you're going through it, a lot of doors are opening to let you know a lot of your choices affect you, right? Because we walk into spirituality and we just think of it as energy and spirit, but your body is connected to spirit. So everything that we do to body,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's the same thing. So you start to learn, yes, foods,
Mm-hmm.
drinking, drugs, whatever. There's all of these attachments to all of this shit that on some level affects you. You got to be willing to change that. You got to be willing to let go a lot of that stuff, to open your mind, to elevate, to
Yeah.
branch out and let yourself connect in certain ways, because a lot of things do hinder you. And I don't think people are ready for that conversation. Even like on foods, there's a lot of foods that hinder your abilities, that hinder you. Like, even it's been probably over a year since I've brushed my teeth with fluoride. I have a toothpaste. It's called Tom's. It's fluoride free. It's like the one toothpaste on the
Yeah.
whole shelf that is fluoride free, because when you look into
Yep.
fluoride in the water or whatever, we know that it does do something. And I can tell you that, yeah, my ability is enhanced
They
as
have
I
like a
stop.
whole line.
Hmm?
Don't they have like a whole line, Toms? Don't they have like a deodorant and everything that is like
I don't know about the
is
deodorant. I
natural?
know
Or
there's
I don't know what it's based on, but
mm, there's a
I think
couple
I've
of
seen it before,
different
but
brand.
they're natural,
I think there's a lag. Are you lagging?
something like that. Am I? Maybe. Probably. It's probably my internet. It'd probably be me. By the
Maybe
time you
them.
come home, I'm gonna have this shit figured out. Okay, I'm gonna be so fucking fast. You're not.
You're gonna be that 333G.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know about the brand. I don't know what other stuff. I just know they have a couple different toothpastes
Hmm.
and toothpaste, and I did switch over just because of something like, little things of watching different yogis and gurus and them talk about, that ascension and kind of detaching. Now, coffee is one of them that they all talk about, like detaching, but that's
I
one
was
thing
gonna
that
say
I'm
this
just
is
like,
mine.
yeah, no. Like that caffeine. I'm like, yeah, probably not in this life. Who knows? I don't know. But
Sugar.
there are some
But yeah,
things that we
that's the
gotta,
big thing that drew me to that Islam
right, right,
is
right,
like the way they were explaining things and the way that they were saying stuff. It's not technically the religion or the Quran or anything like that, but I was just like the self-discipline that
right,
some of these religions have, even the
right,
fasting. You know what I
right,
mean? Like certain things like that. I'm like the self-discipline they have. Um,
right,
for the purpose that it's trying to serve makes so much sense. You know what I mean?
right.
And then I just said I would be a horrible person to convert because I just can't second, you
Well, I think a lot of
but
people think too that there is no discipline in spirituality. I think a lot of
yes,
people mistake
yes,
that.
I think that's why a lot of people come to it. They get tired of religion. They get tired of religion, and then it's like I'm going to go over here.
Right.
Girl.
Just gonna be free over here doing my thing. And then it's like, no, you need to
Right.
meditate. Meditate? I need to meditate. It's like, yeah, how about that? You gotta
Over here,
fucking
girl,
meditate. I just thought I could
I got
come
to
here and
cleanse.
light some candles.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I gotta do this shit
I
all the
was going to buy a couple crystals and a tarot deck.
It's like,
I
wait,
mean, I
what?
got rose quartz and selenite. I thought I was fucking there. Like,
Like what? That's not it. Selenite. I have a selenite wand. That's not it. And I think that's the thing that people just like. Oh, I'm gonna come over to spirituality and I'm just gonna be free. And it's kind of like, yeah, no. There's
hmm
practices. It's just finding the practices that work for you. Especially if you don't believe or
Yeah.
adhere to everything in the different religions. Because, like, people talk about Buddhism, and people don't know there's three different types of Buddhism. It's like, what
Mm-hmm.
the hell? And it's like, you wouldn't know that unless you study it, you look into it, and you're like, oh shit, I thought Buddha was a Buddha, I thought Buddha was a Buddhist. And no, there's three
Right.
different kinds. I don't think Buddha made it that way. They people after him took it and did that. Just like when you look at any type of thing, it's kind of taken and kind of rewritten for whoever
Mm-hmm.
the ones that do it.
Yeah, because there's several different branches of Islam as well
Hmm. So I think that's the reason people
as
don't want
being a
to.
Muslim.
They don't want to change. They don't want to have to do
That's right.
work.
Even Christianity's got like the Church of Latter-day Saints. I don't know if the Mormons are the same, but then they
It
got the
goes on and
Jehovah's, and then they got the Catholics, and then they got the born agains, and then they got the. It's like, whoa, buddy. Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
shoot.
like, it's crazy because there was this guy who I had gave Breezy a review like a while ago for her Shop Heba page or whatever, you know what I mean? And out of nowhere this guy,
Uh-huh.
post on it. And so I decided to have fun and let's have a conversation, you know what I mean? Because he starts talking about like it's witchcraft and it's the devil and we need to be saved.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, who said I need to be saved? I don't need to be saved. I don't feel like I need to be saved. I'm like, I love that people find, enlightenment or they get saved through Jesus and that's what they do. But I don't need that saving. I was like, I found out how to save myself, and that's the beauty of it, that we are divine beings. And then he was like, what
Mhm.
low level demon or something told me that? And I was like, well, I'm not sure what God you're praying to, because the source God energy that I connect with, I'm always connected to that energy and I'm never separate from that energy. So you're telling me that I need to repent so I can reconnect with God, like somehow I've been divided with this energy. You know what I mean? And I'm like, so I don't know what God you're praying to, but the God I follow, the source energy I follow, I'm right there. I'm a divine being. So he was just like, what the fuck is wrong? He just keeps
Shit.
going back on
Apparently,
about.
I'm saved because I said that prayer with the man on the corner like 5 times with 5 different guys. You know, them guys that be out there like,
Right,
if you want to be saved, say this prayer. I've done it like 5 times, and I still do it to this day because I'm
right,
just a
right.
nice person, and when they come up to me, I'm like, okay, I
I just, I'm a debater.
could take 2 minutes.
I'm a debater and I like to debate. It's just me. I like a good debate. Okay. And so I did keep going back and forth with him because I want him to try to understand this salvation that you think we all need to chase. Some of us don't need to chase salvation. Some of us don't need to get to that place you think is heaven, because I'm
Mhm,
creating heaven on earth in my life. And if I'm creating happiness now, I don't have to worry about what that looks like after death. You know what I mean? In a sense. So
mhm.
he just kept, well, and then his thing was, well, then that means Jesus died for no reason. And it's like, he didn't die for no reason. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have changed their lives because of him. I just don't
Right.
need him to save me. There's a big difference. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes people that are in these religions and stuff, they don't understand that maybe this person doesn't need you to come and save them. Maybe this one person found it already. You know what I mean? Maybe that's it. It's crazy because spirit is all in my ear right now. Like ding ding ding, you're hitting on some shit. Because and I'm not taking anything away from Jesus in the religions. It's like, but not everybody needs
Mhm.
to go be saved. Some people are going to save themselves in this life. And that's the beauty of spirituality. It's the quest to save yourself, it's the quest to
Yeah.
find your own answers. But it does come with some discipline. So you do need to make some changes. So I know we're on a time. So the next one we got, number 3, is people you surround yourselves with, the people around us. We're talking about digressing in our spiritual path and causes,
Mhm.